What is good, YouTube? Welcome back to another reaction video, and here we got for you guys today. Jordan Fringe iCarly revival surprised me, and it surprised me as well. I didn't think the first season was gonna be that good, but it's honestly not that bad. It's a lot of great stuff that they connected from the old series. It is a little weird, them coming from Nickelodeon and not be able to do much freedom with their acting and their improv, to now being able to like borderline be on like the being like the maturity level, like, you know. So it's really interesting to see them, you know, evolve and develop from how they were as kids to being their adult selves. And oh my god, this chair. From them being their adult selves, and it's really cool to see, man. And you gotta love it, because I know you didn't think this was gonna happen, and I know I didn't think it was gonna happen either. But it has been a while since I've seen the first season. It's been months now, so I'm pretty sure he's gonna jog my brain up to memory, and you know, just a couple of things I might have forgotten, but we're gonna get right back into it. So without further ado, let's get straight into this video, man.
Is it different from the old one?
No, it is the old one, just with more stuff. Hence the plus.
Hello, the members of our nation. I was so excited I woke up early, or rather I didn't sleep, so I could watch all the episodes of the iCarly revival at about 2 a.m. when they were released on Paramount+. Here on the channel, we have been discussing some iCarly topics the past month in preparation for today. There have been a lot of questions going into this continuation of the show.
Hold on, it's freezing so much.
Will it hold up? Will it be for the people who grew up with the original show? How many spaghetti tacos has Spencer ate since the show ended?
So I was up to about 6 spag tacos a day.
And of course, how are they going to explain the current lack of both Jeanette McCurdy's Sam and Noah Monk's Gibby, two of the biggest fan favorite characters from the show's run? We also truly don't know who will show up, as the trailer showed us classic characters from big and small roles making returns, so maybe someone like Tebow could make a return at some point. Same in a way goes for Gibby, as the reasonings for him not returning so far are pretty silent. As far as Jeanette, due to her experiences growing up acting and behind the
honestly, it makes sense. Like, before, I didn't understand why he didn't want to come back, but after seeing the Patrick CC video, I understand why he wasn't gonna come back. Especially how iCarly kind of like it was like you would think it would be a staple in his career, but it was kind of like a downfall for him. But I understand why though.
Scenes traumatic situations with a certain person who is no longer involved in this version of iCarly, by the way, aside from a title card mention, because legally he created the show and they have to put that, but this frame sums up the feeling of seeing it still. Ugh. As well as her passions now lie elsewhere with directing, podcasting, and more. The show has promised to explain where Sam is within the iCarly universe in at least the first episode, and it is nice to see the cast fully support her and always have open arms for her, as to always embrace her as part of the iCarly family. So now it's finally time to see if this revival can live up to the excitement it has caused across the internet. Paramount Plus released a total of 3 episodes, and hopefully we'll have a release schedule for the rest sooner rather than later. And before we start looking at it all, I just want to remind you that if you end up not liking this new revival of iCarly, that is okay. And in no way does that ruin the original if you are a fan of it. We always have the original and nothing can take that away. If you end up enjoying and liking the revival, then that's great, and it means we have 2 great iterations of the show. I feel a lot of people go after reboots as if it ruins the original show as well, but the original show will always remain there, untouched and not affected by whatever said reboot does. So just remember, at least for yourself, that if you're not into all the reboots happening recently, the originals will always be there the way that you remember them.
I, for one hand, am personally offended.
Now that is out of the way, thank you so much for checking out this video. Let's talk all about this iCarly revival, and drop a like if you enjoyed the video. It helps it out a lot, and I truly do appreciate it.
Ooh, y'all doing like a furry thing.
Yeah.
The first episode, titled I Start Over, sees the return of Carly sneaking into the old apartment, and when she turns on the lights, gets startled by Spencer, who is only wearing a smock, working on a sculpture in the dark wearing headphones, who in turn gets startled too. Followed suit by Freddy.
Wait, okay, so in the first episode of iCarly, back in 2007, They did the exact same scene. Like Carly comes home from school, I believe, and Spencer's working on a sculpture, but he's like on the ceiling somewhere, right? And then somehow he falls and trips, and he lands on his shoulder, and he has to pop it back into place and everything like that. It was like the exact same scene, but a little bit more graphic, because you know he wasn't wearing nothing but a roll. I don't know what you call those things. He just said it, but yeah, he was borderline naked, I would say, right? That's kind of cool how they kind of did that in their own way, like as like adulthood, you know. That it's kind of cool how they did that.
Who waltzes in like he usually does, and from right there, within less than the first minute of the show starting, the magic of what made the original show swept over me like a broom from Fantasia. That warm feeling like returning to your own bed after a long day of work. Seeing these characters interact the same as if nearly a decade hasn't passed truly brought a smile to my face. We learn that Carly has her boyfriend coming over, as she thinks he's going to offer working on a channel together online for content with her. We also get to catch up with where Carly has been since the break of iCarly, when she left to go to Italy in the finale of the original show. She since has dabbled in various forms of entertainment and media, like hosting an Italian version of QVC and doing some college radio. She has started feeling like returning to the internet is a good thing for her, and with her boyfriend Beau presumed to ask her to work together on some sort of channel, her confidence to return spikes up, as she doesn't believe she's ready to do it on her own. Here we meet Beau, who, while she starts going live to capture the moment of the channel starting again, Beau actually breaks up with Carly, live, in front of tens of thousands of people. A couple of notes I want to mention here is, one, while we see the Pear logo on all the electronics again, I guess pear-shaped phones are out and we are just going with the practical rectangle. And two, this guy looks and sounds a little too similar to Chase Matthews from Zoe 101, with slightly less bushy hair.
Hey, he's not wrong though.
Anything to the video, but I got hyper fixated on that and I couldn't unsee it. Going forward, in the next scene after the intro that keeps the same jingle as the original, which is literal music to my ears, we meet Harper,
I know, right?
Carly's roommate. They actually live down the hall from the original apartment and from Freddy. But we'll get to Freddy's situation here in a minute. I think there was a big worry here that Harper was going to be used as a replacement for Sam, but she is. Me too. She fills in a new role with a new dynamic for Carly in her life. She has her own ambitions of being a stylist and is a great support in Carly's life in helping her navigate the dating world, and as we see in following episodes, a huge help in marketing the new era of iCarly. Sam, though, is clearly missed, and I wanted to wait until later to speak on this, but it feels like a natural spot, so let's just discuss it now. They do give a reason for...
To be honest, I kind of like, you kind of get over Sam not being in the show as the show progresses, because you're seeing so much of the old characters that I know Sam was a big part of the show, but when you get to see all the old characters that was in the original, in some weird way, it doesn't feel like Sam is not Sam not being in the show is not that much of a loss once you get to see all the other characters, you know, that provided to the show as well. Because it wasn't just Sam. It was other characters that did provide to the show as well. Without those other characters, iCarly technically still wouldn't be iCarly technically without all those other characters. So even though we all miss Sam, she was a big part. But other characters made it a part as well, you know? You can't forget about the other characters.
Sam not being there, and it's one that not only makes sense and respects the character of Sam, but leaves the door open if Jeanette ever wants to come back to acting. But like I said, with having more adult themes in the show, her absence is greatly felt in most situations. That's not to say that the show doesn't work without her character, but having her around to collab on the web show with Carly again, and have her be somewhat of a big sister type to Millicent, a character we'll discuss here shortly, would have been nice to see. Also, you may have noticed that the original apartment, Spencer's apartment, is similar but completely redone with a more modern and bougie look. It's because Spencer is now rich, like really rich, like gold in your drink rich.
It's about time.
He accidentally made a sculpture that was purchased for a large sum of money. It was a marshmallow sculpture of the White House, with part of it being melted. While it was interpreted as something more meaningful, it was accidentally done because of Spencer's history of things randomly combusting into fire. And I thought that was a smart, fun little detail that makes this new world they built here still feel attached to the original even more. Freddy has had quite the journey over the years. He has gone through 2 divorces, had a failed startup company, and is now back at home with his mom. Now with Millicent, his adopted daughter from his ex-wife's previous relationship, so he definitely has a lot going on. In the original show, we watch Freddy go from a dorky little kid to, well, still a dorky young adult, and now seeing him with boy band hair and some facial hair it's still hard to get over from remembering when we first saw him on the show.
Exactly.
Millicent is an interesting character as well. She grew up with the social media age. She's up on the latest trends and is highly ingrained in the cultural zeitgeist of what's trending, all the way to cancel culture. I know that sounds like it could be cringy, but it's handled a lot better than I thought it would be. It laughs at the absurdness of it all in a satirical manner that doesn't materialize it, but to teach lessons learned around it and doesn't make it the only crutch for comedy in the series. That's a very tough line to play with, but I think they played it perfectly. Millicent, though, plays a back and forth game with Carly. She actively enjoys poking fun at iCarly and just Carly in general, but as I think we will see as the show goes on, that she secretly admires Carly. She may not say she thinks Carly is cool, but in her mind I believe she does, as she's always trying to show off how savvy she is in front of Carly. I mean,
that's a fact.
Paved the way for all of this, right? I also see a bit of Sam's attitude in her, so having Sam in the show could have been a good person to pair her with to deal with certain life lessons. Another absence, of course, is Gibby. I feel that he can easily be integrated into the show down the road if he were to return. One way is having him be a Kramer-esque neighbor in the same building who barges in whenever with ridiculous conversations. Or similarly, possibly with an arc where we see Freddy move out of his mom's apartment to a different apartment in the building and become roommates with Freddy and possibly build a new startup together. Something fun.
Nah, I'm not gonna lie. Their dynamic, Freddy and Gibby's dynamic, that was so slept on. Like, oh man, like I feel like if they would have like a different spin-off as well, like when the show was going after the show finished, them two, oh yeah, they would have carried. Them two being in the show, they carried when it was just them two. Like they find like I'm not gonna say it was like Drake and Josh type. It could have been like a Drake and Josh type show, but them two together, they carried when it was just them two having their own scenes. Like they carried oh my god, bro. I keep saying it, but they really did carry when it was just them two. Like I it's nothing else you can really say. They were so funny together. Like the moments that they had on screen. Yeah, bro, it was crazy.
Fun to think about. And by the end of the first episode, we see Carly having a serious talk with Freddy about if it's possible for her to do iCarly without Sam. Could she bring her show back on her own? They all go to the old studio space in Spencer's apartment and reveal it's basically just how they left it. So after setting it up, we see the classic Spencer baby gag, and all, for the most part, feels right. Also, here's a fun fact that I caught. The first episode was directed by Phil Lewis. Yes, Mr. Mosby himself. That's pretty neat.
Would you like
I did not know that.
Episode 2, titled I Hate Carly.
That's his real name?
Fun. It plays with a lot of the references of the original show. Carly is dealing with a hater in her comment section and decides to kindly confront them as they live in Seattle as well. Here is where we have the return of Nora. Yes, iPsycho's Nora. Yes, I still psychos Nora.
I did not think she was going to come back.
Hashtag Super Psychos, Nora has returned. We know she was coming thanks to a brief clip in the trailer for the show, but we jump straight into her return in episode 2 of the new series. And she plays this red herring type character, as Carly now suspects her as the person hating on her, as she keeps popping up in the same places that she's at, and is still pretty out there creepy wise, and her decade of therapy, as she puts it, has gone right out the window. The episode tells you though which person between two people the hater truly is. They made it really obvious and clearly just tell you, but Carly has to spend the episode figuring that out. And while I like the reason why the character grew a hatred for Carly, I wish the episode played along with the mystery more and built up a more surprising reveal. So while still a fun episode, it felt like it wasn't executed as best as it could have been for storytelling purposes, but the baseline premise was still decent and I enjoyed it. And it was also good to see Nora working on herself, even if it didn't last for long.
Can I take this?
No.
Can I take this?
No.
Episode 3, I Apologize, finds Carly at the center.
I do remember, like, Nora tried to give her Freddy multiple times as soon as she seen her, like, oh my god. She tried to give her Freddy multiple times as soon as she seen him You know, like, and she invited them to her house for a birthday party, and as soon as he came through the door, she tried to get at him, but it didn't work. She tried, man. She tried. And it's clear that she's still trying for some odd reason, even after he had a daughter. Well, not his daughter, oh my God. And I'm still trying to get these missing pieces, but it's technically his daughter, not really, but they trying to make it work, you know. But that was something I was not expecting them to add into the show. That like, I never even thought they was even gonna have like a kid element to Freddy at all. Let alone not really being his daughter, but it kind of worked. It kind of worked out a little bit, I would say.
Of a meme that is now helping promote iCarly to a larger audience. The only downside is that it hurts Spencer's artistic work and him in general, causing him to take aim at online content creation art, influencers, and the social media age in an exhibit to get back at what feels is his art not being appreciated or taken seriously, as well as Carly not respecting him. This is the episode that also contains the recreation of the famous interesting meme with Carly on the computer drinking a can of soda, as well as Millicent following suit in doing so. Anyway, the show feels
classic.
Like Friends. And not just in the sense of feeling like a more adult sitcom, but in the fact that we know these characters. We know this world, and it feels like a natural return more than most reboots, revivals, or continuations ever could confidently make. I enjoy seeing these people again, and I enjoy the new characters brought onto the show. Of course, missing Sam and Gibby is something that hurts, but at least the door is open. More specifically open for Sam, as Gibby isn't brought up, at least yet, but it's open. There are wonderful callbacks to the original show, and it respects the audience that grew up with that version, and brings you back in as an equal that aged with you. This was a pleasant surprise. In fact, it was way better than I had hoped for. Now that being said, this was only the first 3 episodes. We still have a whole season to be released over time to truly get the bigger picture here. But overall, this was great. So in this coming back, I guess some things are meant to be. So I will leave the rest up to them to continue this story.
Hey, let's get it, man.
So that was the revival of iCarly so far. I am curious to hear your thoughts on this take on iCarly. Does it have the same feel of the original show in your opinion? You know, just with some more risque themes, cursing, and drinking? Let me know your thoughts down below in the comments. I will, of course, still cover iCarly in the future, whether that be the original show or when new episodes come out for the new continuation of the show. Next Friday, I have a video about Victorious coming out, as well as more cartoon goodness and a bunch more content that I'm having fun making, so I hope that you're enjoying them as well. I appreciate you taking the time to watch this video, and please leave a like, as it truly does help out the video a lot, and I really do appreciate it. Subscribe to be a part of my journey through movies and television and how these films and shows affected my life from the past and present. As always, I will see you soon with another video, but until then, later.
Hey man, I can't wait to get to that Victorious series. That's gonna be fun as well. Only because iCarly and Victorious was so comparable back in the day. And I can't wait to get to other series and TV shows and movies as well. That's gonna be fun. But what I can say, hold on. What I can say about this video is that, yeah, man, this was great to see. It was great. A lot of twists and turns happened. A lot of great mysteries has come to play, because I've seen the first season already. Even though he only talked about the 3 first episodes, I've seen it all the way through. I didn't really binge watch it, but I've seen it all the way through. But it's fire. That's all I can say, is that it's fire. And I can't wait to see season 2, because I haven't seen that yet. Once I do see season 2, it's gonna be, I already know it's gonna be better than the first one, because I you can see them building up to something great here. But you guys, this is the end of the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. Let me know what you guys want to see next in the comments down below. Go to my Patreon, where all of my block reactions will be, while the copyright and verse and blur on the screen. And please turn on your post notifications so you can be notified every time I drop a new video. Because this bang is all 2023 to 2024, man. I promise you guys, you do not want to miss the upcoming videos I have next. And if you want to further support, go down to my Cash App. It's in the link in the description down below. Thank you guys for all the love and support. I appreciate every single one of you guys. And I hope you guys are here to stay. But with that being said, you guys already know this. I'm out of here, man.